Achilles heels, if you will. There's certain things that they just keep doing it or whatever. So if I keep doing it, I don't want to stop. You know, it's kind of like the person who is addicted to drugs, right? If they don't get the help that they're supposed to get, and even while they're going through rehab and stuff, they're still craving that. Some of them even relapse. Yeah. So does it mean that this person really don't want to get off that drug?
Nope.
Okay.
What I have to say about this situation about putting God first, I feel like you should put God first at the beginning of the relationship. That should have been the primary source of everything. Was God. The fact that
do that though.
I'm just saying.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying. The fact people don't understand what vows are. Vows are words that you're saying to God. Yes, people are here watching you, but you're saying this to God and saying, in front of everybody, I say these vows that I will love you, cherish you, be faithful to you, sickness and health. You're saying this to God in the church. This is the reason why we're in church, because you're saying these vows for God. People take that very lightly, and that's why I'm not married. That's why I feel like marriage is a partnership, because people do it for the wrong reasons. If you had God first, I feel like a lot of things wouldn't happen, because you can always pray on it. You can always talk about it. Give it to God. Go see a pastor. Have an intervention.
You gotta go to
Things like that.
No, because I want to ask her about the marriage. Okay, go ahead.
I still disagree. I feel like, you know, I
Disagree
don't.
on what?
With this brother said.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if you put yourself in a position to where you feel uncomfortable by your actions and you need to appease your partner.
I have to talk. I'm just shaking my head. You can
Trust has to be earned, right? So my thing is, if you just gonna blindly say I trust, right, and I forgive you, if you just gonna blindly say, what you about to do?
You can do all of that at the beginning and still all the shit after that. Like, let me be in my P's and Q's. Let me give her my phone. Let me give her my password, just so she can trust me enough to go back to how it was, so you can go back out there and cheat. That shit means nothing. That shit means nothing.
Someone said forgiveness does not absolve anyone from their actions and the consequences that come along with those actions that are indefinite choices.
That shit means nothing.
While that's true, right? Consequences are definite choices. But again, if you're saying that we're going to work things out and you're saying that we're going to be together, then I shouldn't have to walk on eggshells. Because again, if that's the case, then the relationship, it has become prison and it's not a relationship. Like your significant other should not be lording over you the ways that your parents supposed to do when you were an infant or
be good now.
So that means that once y'all agree to say that she forgives you, that means that the person is absolved of putting in any work to
No. I'm not saying that you're absolved from putting in any work in or whatever. Like, so how I move has to change. But what I'm saying is, like, that doesn't mean I have to like give you all my combinations and my accesses and things like that. Because not for nothing. At the end of the day, when you go looking for something, you find whatever you want to find.
Password?
Even if it's nothing, even when it's nothing, bro. Like, you can find a note from a friend that's just like, hey, what's up? I love you. And then she's like, yo, why this bro telling you she love you? Oh, somebody I've known for, you know, like, so everything that you do, if she feels a way about it, if she says she forgive you, but she still feels a way, everything you do is going to be wrong. So you're walking on eggshells. What's the purpose of staying in there?
Right. Go. It's over. Relationship done. Because my thing is, like, the dynamics has changed. It would never be fixed. And it depends on how much trust she's lost for you. Because there's levels to trust. Because I feel like if you do something that lose your trust, and you do something again before I actually really sincerely forgive you, you're digging the hole deeper. Because I haven't forgiven you for the first thing yet, and now you're doing something else. Now it's like, now you have to work even harder to get out that hole, and you keep digging it and digging it. After a while, it's gonna be too deep for you to even dig out of. It's time to go.
Then at that point, you be like, fuck it.
Right.
Yeah, it's time to go at that point.
So the other thing I wanted to touch on was you talked about marriage and like we giving it to God. Like, does anybody know what marriage actually came from? Like,
the history of marriage?
Yeah, like the where marriage was. Like, marriage was a business proposal, which was why women were married. You know, females were
arranged marriages.
Yeah, they were arranged. Like, females were married at like 12 years old. You know what I mean? So that somebody could get a goat or something like, or so businesses, or land, or so that business proposal could happen. Like, so, some good young lamb meat.
Right.
So the fact that we, you know, I'm not saying that we don't put stock in marriage and what we say that marriage is supposed to be especially in the eyes of God, we put more stock on the marriage than we do the actual relationship.
Can I say something to that? How crazy is it though that at some point in the world that there were arranged marriages when you were freaking 12 years old? Like you not even. What do you know?
But you know what that's about? That's about setting your family up. Like they feel like I'm gonna pick the husband for you. I'm gonna pick the one who's financially stable. I'm gonna pick the one who comes from a good family line. I'm gonna choose your future for you.
Yeah.
Because at this age, you're not gonna choose a good person. I'm gonna choose it for you. I've known this family for many years. We've grown up together. We've been neighbors. I know their life. I'm gonna hook you up to make sure your future.
It's not about
They're
love,
taking
it's
care
about
of
business.
Yeah, they're taking care of the kid's future. Like when I'm gone and you're here by yourself, I'm gonna make sure that you have land, a home, money. That's what they're doing. And for me, I feel like it's not a bad thing to do. I mean, I know
Actually,
it's not.
it wasn't just about the child though. So, because it was a thing where it says, well, because I can get more land or something like that for myself, I would say, hey, Luke, you can have my firstborn daughter, for your firstborn son. Like, and Luke would say, okay, so because of that this agreement, then, 70 acres of land over there is yours.
Right. Setting up the future though. That's your future. You're not gonna be marrying a bum. Like I know you're not marrying for money. I mean for love. I know you're not marrying for love, but
damn.
at the
So
end of the
this
day,
love is not even.
So
in the
love's not
equation.
even on the equation.
Someone said-
Not then.
Someone said they were selling the kids for profit. Another person said they need to bring that back.
Wow.
sometimes they do fall in love. Sometimes you get a connection, and sometimes you don't. But at the end of the day, you're secure. You're secure financially. You're taken care of. You got a house. You got the kids.
So
You talked about this before. Security don't equal happiness.
It does. I just never said happiness. I never said they were happy. They're secure, and that's all the parents want from them: is security. That's all they're looking for.
So let me bring it down for the 2 men in the room that have been married.
Facts. You was married?
Yep.
I was married.
So when you went into this partnership, right? What was it based on?
I plead the fifth.
Okay, fine. Go ahead.
1, 2, 3, 4,
This-
fair?
this is
One,
Derrick.
2, 3, 4,
Yeah. It was based on the fact that at that age, I thought it was, I was done with.
Do you mind telling us the age at that point?
25.
You're 25 when you got
Is
married.
that young?
I was younger than that.
Ladies think
I was
about
younger
it?
than that. I was like 21.
I got married.
Derrick Jaxn was what, 19 when he got married to his wife?
Well, not for
19.
nothing. Like the generation, the generations before us and the generations before us, like they would get married at 18, 19, and a lot of them stayed married.
Okay.
But for me, I was done
Yes,
playing around.
Derrick Jaxn was around 19.
Yeah,
So
he was
okay,
19
so
when he got
continue.
married.
So he probably didn't sow his
Royal
wild
oats,
oats.
yeah.
But go ahead,
It came
continue.
to Queens.
Everybody's not meant to be married.
He should have came to Queens.
Everyone's not meant to be
That's
alone.
what you do when you go to Saudi Arabia. You don't go to Queens.
Come to America.
You know what? I know that, but I was gonna say I was gonna say for me,
Yo, watch
Oh,
the
that's
not
Learn
Brooklyn,
the two
so
session.
I gotta go to another borough.
I think Derrick Jaxn is just being a man, and the fact that he's in the limelight and he's someone that is well known for his words and the things he says. He's a motivational coach for relationships. He's under the spotlight right now because of that. But at the end of the day,
I need to
he's
clarify.
he's a
just
man.
man.
I
He's
was
being
going
a
there.
man.
So does
Because
that
wait,
mean you have a negative
because-
perception of men?
Because wait,
Finish your
because
thought.
wait.
Go ahead.
At the end of the day, Derrick Jaxn is a man first. Okay?
Mhm.
Forget about being a motivational speaker or a relationship expert. He's a man first. Just like some pastors who do cheat on their wives in church, they're men first. Look at Kurt Franklin. He's a man first when it came to his kids, and everybody's saying, "Oh, Kurt Franklin, why are you saying those things?" He's a man first. He's human first. Derrick Jaxn's human first.
We can talk about that too.
And my thing is, if you want to put him on a pedestal, that's a you problem. He never claimed to be that person.
You that problem.
Right,
No,
he's
he
the
never claimed to-
self-proclaimed guru
Right, y'all
of
made him
relationships.
this big. He just talked. He just sat in his car and he spoke.
Yep.
Like we're doing right now. Now, any way you take what we're saying tonight, that's on you. We have no influence on how you take it.
We need to get that money back into.
I'm just saying, you're gonna get that money. That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen.
Wow.
But my thing is, y'all
You
giving
didn't
him.
get no disclaimers. We need all that.
I understand that, but it's like y'all making him too big for no
So
reason.
what's your perception of men since you say he's just being a man? I'm just curious. What is your perception of men?
Yeah, is that a gender thing or?
I just feel like men are easily tempted. Men give into temptation quicker than a woman would.
That's a lie.
Because of the fact that there's more
As I
women.
stated, there's never a shortage of side chicks.
Excuse me.
Never a shortage.
I need her to finish.
There's more women in this world than there are men.
Mm-hmm.
So the ratio is higher for men, right? So the temptation is higher. Okay? You see more. There's more different shapes, looks, short, tall, than women. So therefore, I feel like the temptation is more for men to cheat.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And men are visual. Men are visual.
I don't agree with that. I
You don't have to agree with it.
So, clinically, right?
I was asking the ladies.
Oh.
Clinically speaking, right?
Come on, Dr. Uptown.
Because
You gonna be like
Professor,
you gonna be like Derrick
Professor, I'm
Jaxn?
sorry. Professor
Derrick
Uptown.
Jaxn number 2. Go ahead.
wow.
Go ahead, Derrick Jaxn.
Wow.
Go ahead, Derrick Jaxn.
Oh.
Bam, bam. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
Wow. See, when let me tell you something.
Professor.
I got on my vest.
Thank you.
She going for headshot.
I got on my vest. She get
Pause.
But when I fire back, I hope she ready.
Go ahead. Nice,
You know what I'm
girl.
saying?
Go ahead.
Anyway,
Over here, Lou.
clinically speaking, right? Only
Clinically speaking.
only a woman can be a nymphomaniac, which means that women. Oh, look it up. Run your Googles, my G.
Is
Clinically
this black Google or regular Google?
Regular Google. Regular Google. Thank you,
Somebody Google.
Thank you, sir. Nah, don't be a hater. You a hater, son. You a hater. You a hater, my G. Like, hater.
Somebody Google this nonsense, please.
Only women can be classified as nymphomaniacs.
This nonsense, please.
It's not nonsense.
Finish. Let him
It's
finish.
not nonsense.
Go ahead, continue.
Take a psychology course.
I have.
So that you should know this.
No.
No, did you pass?
Can you? I got an A.
Yo,
Did
can you continue?
Let's see your
Continue.
credentials.
Finish.
Continue.
Doctor.
Continue.
Doctor feel good. Finish. Doctor feel good.
So, because only women can be labeled
Allegedly.
as
I want to see
nymphomaniacs,
receipts on that one. I want to see receipts.
you know, so because only women can be labeled as nymphomaniacs, that means that their sexual inclinations run way stronger than men do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hold up, you.
I didn't say anything.
She,
I can't make a face.
No, you could definitely make a face.
her facial expressions be off the chain. You know what I'm saying? That's just what she said.
Somebody say you're a woman. How do you know?
You're not a woman.
Men, no, oh, yeah. No,
Are
I said,
you a woman?
Are you a woman? How do you know men get tempted more than women?
Well, guess what? One thing I do know, right? God engineered men and women to work against each other, right? Because women, for Mika, who want to get in my goddamn comments.
Wait. Before we start.
Sir. Can I finish?
No, we want you to finish, but wait. Before you finish, we want to ask everybody, please, don't get him started.
Get him started.
Not tonight.
Get him started.
Because women, for all the women that are in the comments, right, who are over 40, right, we all know that women, their sex drive in their 40s skyrockets through the damn roof. Men,
How do you know so much?
because I've lived life.
How about women?
Are you over 40?
Can you let him finish his thought?
Are you over 40? Are you over 40?
Yes, I am.
Finish your thoughts.
How's your sex drive now?
It's very low.
Lying ass motherfucker. See, if you want,
Yeah, I'm pulling
Yeah,
a
we-
card.
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
We don't know give you a look right now. You got to look
You
right
want
now.
me to?
You don't know my life. You don't know my story.
Women's sex drive skyrocket when they hit 40.
Son.
Men's sex drive starts to decline at 40. So that means that literally
Was it 2
God
weeks ago?
has engineered
That
us to work against each other.
Go ahead.
God has engineered us to work against each other.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. Say that again one more time.
I say a woman's sex drive increases when she hits 40. It increases exponentially. And a man's sex drive...
I'm sorry. Oh my God. Okay, breathe.
Someone said he's speaking some of the truth.
I know I am.
Okay, go ahead.
Someone said you need some.
She just got confused because I used an SAT word.
No, you said.
You need some sea moss to talk about.
Oh God.
I don't need it. I'm good.
Go ahead, Rob.
What,
Finish your statement.
peanut punch? Like, come
That's
on, really?
hilarious.
Right.
So that means we cheat more because we have a higher sex drive, and that's your opinion? Your opinion is that the fact that we have a higher sex drive over 40, that means that we cheat more, or that's what you're saying, right?
That wasn't what I was
saying. What was your point?
I didn't say I didn't even use the word cheat.
What was your point?
Ever.
What was your point?
My point is that because women's sex drive is higher, they're more, they out there doing just as much dirt, if not much more than men.
Why we can't have a high sex drive with one person? Why does it have to be we're out there doing dirt? Why can't it be I have a...
Because there's always side chicks. Always.
Yeah, but that you can't talk for all women though.
There's always side chicks.
You can't talk for all women though.
Always.
So, I love that you just said that. So how is it that you can tell him he can't talk for all women? But
I'm also to talk for all women than he is.
No, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, how is it easy for women to do that and be like, we can talk for all men?
Who said we can talk for all men?
When y'all say a man gonna be a man, you just spoke for men.
That's my life. That's how I felt for me. I never said everybody felt that way. I said for me, a man's gonna be a man.
Yeah, I feel that way.
I feel for me, a man's
he's
gonna be
talking
a
about
man.
from his perspective.
What? Don't be over there.
No. Wait.
Wait.
No, that's what you did.
No.
You didn't say the word cheat, and I didn't say the word cheat not one time.
Where's your angle? Like you talking, but you're not saying that.
It's that type of night.
Oh my goodness.
Because he's gonna say a woman is more promiscuous because we have a higher sex drive. Like that's crazy. Women, we could masturbate. We could have toys. You don't necessarily have to. Even if you have a high sex drive, doesn't mean you have to be out here in the streets.
Let's pretend I'm fucking women in their 40s and you not. So I know.
Oh well.
Ooh.
What say ye?
What was the question?
You know what I'm saying?
What was the question? That wasn't a question. That was a statement. So I don't understand how I'm supposed to respond to a statement. What you say?
I said, let's pretend for the sake of this conversation that I'm having sex with women that are in their 40s and you're not, because you have sex with women? All right, so that means that I would know more about a woman in their 40s that their sex drive more than you would.
No.
Because I'm out here.
You would just know the kind of woman that you deal with. Not every woman, just the women you deal with is out there like that. That's not every woman.
No, because
that's
guess
the type
what?
of woman that you're dealing with.
No, because
yes, it is.
Okay.
I don't have conversations with you.
I don't even know you like
Okay.
that.
Now you don't know me like that. You see this bullshit?
So
Wow.
I'll say.
Now you don't know me like that. You're right, you don't know me like that.
In regards to his statement with women over 40 having a higher sex drive, I will have to I'll have to agree slightly, not by much, but slightly, that women over 40 tend to want it a little bit more than the ladies that tend to be a little bit younger.
That's not true. But
How do you feel about that, right?
I don't believe that.
You don't believe that? Why do you not believe that?
No. Don't answer her question. Answer this question.
Yeah, it seems like that drive, that sex drive gets kicked in the overdrive the older they get.
So you're saying that's not for you, so your pussy's dry right now?
Nobody. What?
I think what happens is
Right now, yeah, it is. I'm on a podcast live IG. Yeah, so right now, yeah, it is dry. Yeah. Right now, yeah.
We don't make you moist?
Oh man.
So, how old is Derrick Jaxn? How old is he?
Oh man.
How old is Derrick Jaxn?
I got someone that said I'm over 40 and all because our sex drive is high. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Doesn't mean we put there like men are.
What?
Say it again.
She said I'm over 40 and all because our sex drive is high doesn't mean we put there like men are.
So that means women have got a negative perception of men out here, like men are. It's very absolute statement.
I think it's an individual. It's an individual. Everybody's different. You can't say all women have high sex drive or all men are whores. It's individual. And it's a company you keep. It's the type of women that you're dealing with. I'm sorry. It gotta be.
I mean, it's the type of men you deal with. You said men gonna be men.
Yeah, but that's a general statement.
I made a general statement. No, I made a general statement. I said, that's a general statement. It's called a generalization.
You said
Try
over
it.
40.
Over 40. Women over 40s. When women reach 40, their sex drive skyrocket chest. That's what I said. That's a generalization.
Well, how old is Derrick Jaxn?
I don't know.
When I looked that up.
How old is he? Somebody tell me how old Derrick Jaxn is.
If one of you know how old is he, so we can get her point.
Yeah, what's the point of knowing his age? Just curious.
Because we talking about him cheating. So what that got to do with women in sex drive over 40?
So you're saying he over 40?
How do you equate that with what we're talking about? Like he's the one that was having sex with all these
about sex drive, or that was about
Possibly,
his clout?
depending on what his age is. That's what I want to know his age.
Or was that more about his clout?
His clout, who he is.
Yeah.
I just think he's a handsome person. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie like Derrick Jaxn's not handsome.
You was in his DMs?
He's a handsome, no. He's a handsome guy, and not only is he handsome, he knows how to speak well. So he's very persuasive.
That's not true. He doesn't speak well.
He's very persuasive.
He speaks confidently. He doesn't speak well.
Well, confidence sells.
But he doesn't speak well.
Women love a confident man.
No, but I just want to understand.
That
There's a
says
difference between speaking well.
You got 9 books that says that.
Women like confidence. Okay?
Confident and speaking well is not the same thing.
He speaks well, in my opinion. I think he has points, he's valid, and he knows how to talk to the people. And so for that reason, it's not hard for him to get someone.
I think he speaks to people who are easily manipulated.
No.
So is it more about him speaking well or
And he's
speaking
handsome.
confidently, or is it about,
I think it's a package. It's everything.
or is it more about him speaking what people want to hear?
It's everything for me. I feel like he knows how to speak well, he knows how to communicate, he knows women, he's handsome.
Does he know
Yeah.
women, or does he know certain circumstances and be able to speak to that?
Well, was he monetizing his lies? Because, I mean, he lied. And he pretty much monetized
If
those.
I felt he wasn't saying anything that was valid, I would sit here and vouch for him. But like I said before, I do follow him, and he says things that make sense. Like, he's not just talking out to ass. He's not. You know, do I think everything he said is Bible? No. But some things he says make sense. It really does. So, did you ever watch his shows? Did you ever watch any of his?
I never.
Did you ever watch it though?
No, I mean people have forwarded me things of his, so I've seen stuff. But I never like.
Why he reminding you too much of yourself?
Wow.
I'm just asking.
Wow.
I'm just asking.
No,
Okay, so
I don't think we have anything in common.
I watched a couple of his videos, and as
how do you feel about them?
I mean, I had no qualms on him. Like
Right.
he spoke
Right.
he spoke truth on a wavelength of a woman that has experienced this type of.
Thank you. He's 31. Thank you.
That he experienced this. That they experienced it, so they felt it, right? So that's why they paid. What was it, like $3,000 or something like that?
For his seminars, yeah, 3,000.
Seminars or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, he wasn't speaking lies. He was living.
He was speaking in third person the whole goddamn time. That's the simple. The whole goddamn time, all these years that he been doing his shit, he was speaking in third person, and nobody ever knew it. He was warning women against him.
Right. That's why he was so good
Bottom
at it.
line.
That's why he was so
That's
good
it.
at it. Because he was talking about himself.
Because we approaching the hour, we about to get kicked off.
Yeah, but
You know what I'm
while he was talking about himself, he made it seem like this is a
You're right.
generalization.
Because he was able to separate himself from his lies.
Right,
Right.
but so the problem that I had with it is like we said earlier, like he's dragging men. You know, while he's talking about himself, he's dragging men, making it seem like, yo, this is a man's
Have you ever
problem.
watched?
Yeah, I have like sisters who like swore by him. So I would get videos and I'm
How do you
like,
feel
yo,
right now?
listen, I
How
have
did you
no
feel
idea.
about? How did you feel about the videos you got? How did you feel about what you saw?
I told him, I was like, yo, I'm not a fan of this dude. I was like, he's what he's doing is he's using what he knows that female, like, so for me, I have a lot of female friends. So a lot of them come and talk to me about stuff that they deal with dudes. That's like me taking all of their their dealings and making a book out of it. Right? And now I make a book out of it, so now I'm gonna reap the benefits off of what my female friends and my
Right.
sisters
That's
have been through.
material.
Right, so it's material. But now I'm dragging it and making women feel like this is something that all men do. So now I'm putting stuff out there like, if your man does this, you need to leave him alone. He's less than a man if he does this. And so now y'all are taking it like, oh snap, yo, if my man does such and such, I need to leave him alone. Not looking at the entire package of the man. I'm looking at certain things that this dude said, and I'm picking certain things off this tree.
Cherry picking, yeah.
Right, I'm cherry picking, and now I'm like, yo, dismiss the whole tree.
Well, I'm gonna give my final thoughts. I think that one, you should never take relationship advice from a person that don't got no goddamn credentials. Two, a person who you can't physically see their relationship to see that they're living proof of the shit that they're saying. And three, if you are someone out here that is trying to have any sort of celebrity status and you out here doing fuck shit, make them bitches sign an NDA. non-disclosure agreement, meaning they can't talk.
Oh man.
I just feel like this. Everyone needs advice sometimes, and if it's not a friend or a family member, sometimes you will go to social media or you will go online and get advice from someone you think is reputable to understanding what your problems sometimes. And I feel like you got to separate the man from the husband. Like that was his brand, and he's a husband as well, and that's two separate people. It's the same way to me as if you had a brother or sister, if you had a sister or a mother or a daughter, and you telling your mother, daughter, or sister, don't mess with these fuck boys, they ain't shit, they gonna try to play you, they gonna cheat on you, but you that person that you're talking about to your sister, brother, and mother. You're that person. But you telling your sister, brother, and mother, don't fuck with this dude, he ain't shit, he ain't got a job, da-da-da-da. But you a hypocrite because the same thing you're telling your family not to do, you're doing to the next girl. So I just feel like we all do it in some kind of way, in some kind of angle. He did it a little bit more intensely than you would, but I feel like we all do it. I feel like we all give advice that we don't take.
That's fine.
We all give advice that we don't
Final
take,
word.
and I just feel like he shouldn't be canceled because of this. I feel like maybe it's supposed to have happened for him to work on his marriage and see what happened. He found God, that's great. If it's real, then great. If it's not real, then that will show in time as well. But maybe sometimes you have to hit rock bottom. Sometimes you got to hit rock bottom in order to see what it really is. And I think this is his rock bottom. And we'll just see what's going to happen after this.
Well, I just think that first off, we put too much stock in people we don't know. We're looking for advice from people that we don't know what they're doing behind closed doors. So if there is situations where you might need to know, like, what's the best thing to do, like if you're in a relationship with somebody, the two of y'all should be working those things out together. If you do need like solid relationship advice, maybe you can go speak to a spiritual advisor or a friend that's pretty close or something like that. But at the end of the day, you have to do what works best for you and not continuously put so much stock in social media and people who have like celebrity status. Because at the end of the day, like like Mona just said, people have to get humbled after a while because they get too high, too big on their high horse or whatever. So you never want to be in a place where you have to be humbled yourself. So the best thing to do is if you're going to work things out with somebody, work things out, but again, don't use religion or God or your status to manipulate people to stay with you or to follow what you're going to do and things of that nature. Like, there should be accountability for what you do, but you should never have to live in a place where you're walking on eggshells for everything that you do.
So I'm gonna say communication is key in this. Like I know we touched on the separation.
Over.
All right.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I was trying to wrap up.
We still are recording.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
Go ahead.
communication is key in all this. So like when you're in a relationship and you're in that marriage,
Mhm.
right? You should know where each other stands, and those things will evolve over time, right? Because people change over time, and your wants change, your conditions might change, and I think you have to be upfront in allowing that other person to have the data to make an informed decision on what they want to do, whether you decide to get separated or not. And in that, you can move accordingly, right? So if there is an outside source that comes into that picture, you allow them to know what it is, right? Because however they came into it, they're impeding on the situation that you have, right? So I think you got to be honest to all parties involved. And last but not least, don't marry the fuckboy, no matter how good the D is. I'm just saying.
People change.
No matter how good the D is, don't marry the fuckboy. I mean, I'm not calling him a fuckboy. I'm just saying, like in
He's a
general,
fuckboy.
don't marry a fuckboy. So
It's people change though.
this is again.
So at 19,
what about
I'm
her,
the same
though?
person at 31. You
Because we make it
change.
seem like it's only like
Okay,
boys.
don't marry the fuck girl, because there's some women who have some.
Yeah, that's.
So,
Woo.
yo,
Yeah, a lot.
thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed our opinions. Again, as he said, most of his opinions are his own, not the cast.
That's a fact.
Yo, as always, we hope you have a great night and a better tomorrow.
Watch the
Peace.
next episode.